Welcome to the swing set. Climb on up. There is always a swing available. On Life on the Swing Set, the podcast, we explore ethically non-monogamous relationships, the pleasures and passions, the promise and pitfalls. We discuss all aspects of ethical non-monogamy in a fun, open, and welcoming fashion, with a gleam in our eye, a bounce in our step, our hands down your pants. Ooh, sorry, got ahead of myself. We may be biased. In fact, we most certainly are. But we don't sugarcoat, and each of us speaks honestly and earnestly about our thoughts, ideas, and experiences throughout our very own lives on the swing set. Thanks for swinging by.
So, hey guys, I have this problem. Sometimes I want to be up and close and personal with someone. I want that full body contact. I want to slide up right next to somebody while I'm sliding in and out of them. I want to kiss them gently. I want my hair in their face, and I want their hair in my face. I want to feel their breath on my neck, and I want to feel the weight of my chest pushing against their tits. But sometimes I want to sit back, stand back, kneel back, and just fucking fuck the people I'm fucking, because I want to watch them move, I want to see their faces scrunch, I want to watch their tits bounce, and I want to give them a smack. I want to give them a slap. I don't want to watch my cock go in and out as I, piston myself a schmack. As I piston my cock in and out of somebody. I want to watch myself fucking somebody sometimes. But sometimes I want to flip someone over and pound them against a headboard. And sometimes I want to execute the rare triple Lutz upper decker reverse cowgirl in the pyramid configuration. But sometimes things get in the fucking way.
You got the cheerleader there, by the way. Well done.
Well, I mean, as the cheerleader in the group, Ginger knows what the rare triple Lutz upper decker reverse cowgirl in the pyramid configuration is.
And entails.
Yeah,
I'm an ex-figure skater, so I got the triple Lutz. Well,
you cater to both of the demographics there.
Well, good, and I think there are a lot more people out there that are at least wondering what that is. But I can't always get that. Sometimes things get in the way. Genital position, body type, genital shape, friction points, stamina, agility, and ability can sometimes conspire to work against crafting the scene I want or the grouping of people that I want. And I just won't be able to fuck the person or the people I want to fuck the way I want to fuck them. So, do I give up or do you give up? I say, fuck no. We have the knowledge, we have the technology, we have the simple machines, we have the will, and we will craft the way. And that's what we're talking about here on Life on the Swing Set, the podcast. I'm Dylan, and with me I have...
Oh, it's Cooper. Thanks for asking.
Hey everybody, it's Ginger.
It's Krista, and I have to stop laughing.
And thank you for indulging me, and thank you for joining me, and welcome the fuckity fuck fuck back, Krista Ann.
Oh, thank you. Fuck you very much. Mwah.
I like the fuckity there, because really Peter Capaldi should be the patron saint of profanity, I think.
Amen.
Even if he can't use it on Doctor Who, he just wants to say, get in the fuckity fuck TARDIS.
That's what I hear in my head.
The fuckity fuck TARDIS would be a
the
great
fuckity fuck
name for a sex room.
Yes, it would. It is bigger on the inside.
Exactly.
Always.
That is the name of my bedroom now.
The fuckity fuck TARDIS?
Yes.
Nice.
I'm painting the bedroom door. I'm doing this before I go to sleep tonight. Thank you.
Hashtag fuckity fuck TARDIS.
Excellent. I like this.
So Dylan, you had a point.
My point is, I've been having these experiences where I want to have a certain type of sex, and it's harder for me to have it with people. So let me just, I'll describe the micro problems here, okay? If I had to describe the positioning issues, is that, let's talk about me having sex with my wife.
Let's talk about you having sex with your wife.
I'm to have sex with my wife, and I would love all of you to watch me having sex with my wife.
I've seen it. I've been
Soon.
there.
I've seen it.
Yeah. Okay. So
I'm not.
Okay. So
I'm just.
What you need to do is produce a video so Krista doesn't feel left out. Do you want her to feel left out, Dylan?
I don't. Krista, would you like to be included in the club?
I really do.
You could do it via Skype or FaceTime.
No. I want to produce this. I want to make it look production quality.
I want sound effects and
I think there should be a boing, at some point.
I'm glad that we're all on the same wavelength here. I want some tarnished whoosh noises too.
For the coming. All right. So, there are certain things that are easier to do with my wife. We are exceptionally, and this is going to sound really funny, but we are exceptionally good at missionary. Okay. And it's because, her vulva, her openings, her vaginal opening is positioned, further forward and further up. And my cock is also a little bit further forward and further up than, I don't know if standard is the right way to say it, but let's just say, no, really, like, I don't know what the
So
standard
you both
would be.
you have the sport edition genitals? Maybe the LX?
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Well, so
Do they
I
have
don't know
spoilers on them?
I don't know what the standard Cylon models have, but we are a little bit more forward and a little bit higher. And so we can do exceptional things with modifications on the missionary position. And I mean truly exceptional things. I mean stuff on couches using leverage, weird furniture in weird places. You know, if we are facing each other, we can do interesting things because it's basically like taking... we basically create a pivot point with our genitals at that point, and we do all sorts of cool stuff. But it also means it's harder for me to flip her over and have her kneeling and to have me fuck her from behind. I don't have a small cock, but I don't have an enormous cock. So I can't get the reach around distance with my cock.
Sure.
Yeah, I need to kind of enter inside of her unless she is exceptionally and almost uncomfortably arching her back up to kind of like get her pussy back. And the same thing for me. I have to kind of get underneath her to get that. And even and there's some sex.
It is not as easy a position as porn has led us to believe, Dylan.
No, it is most definitely not.
Right. But I've also had sex recently where I very much wanted to have kind of that intimate front-to-front sex. But I found that they had a much further back and lower positioned vaginal opening. And so it was a more natural position for me to fuck them, like, with them laying down and me kind of sitting back and watching the whole thing happen. And it was a lot easier for me to do them from behind. And I'm like, holy shit, I can really have doggy style with this woman. The kind of sex that I can't really do with my wife without a lot of preparation and possibly a little bit of back pain. And as basic and simple as that sounds, that realization is kind of revolutionary. Like, you can't just do everything with every person because not everybody's the same.
I love your observations, Dylan. It's so fun. And I can't tell you how much I love this topic because I could talk endlessly about this topic. I mean, Prof and I, is it a hobby? Maybe. Is it a vocation? Maybe. I mean, if there's anything we can do to... Do
you crush it, Jen? The two of you, I imagine you crush sex.
Well, you know how Prof likes to win things.
He does like to win.
I mean, he likes to win things you don't really ever win. Like, it's just a phrase. And so when we both get in that headspace, especially when we have a week or more to just be in paradise together and have all these, like, opportunities to have sex and whatever.
You mean what's happening right now? Because timey-wimey dictates that this is coming out while we are in paradise.
Right now, I am fucking with the quantum dynamics of the physics of sex.
Odds are,
absolutely.
yes. The odds are.
Odds are. I mean, to be fair, odds are. But
really is in two places at once.
I can be. So that idea of being able to be super playful and creative, I feel like we've talked in the past on the podcast about the idea of a playbook, or, we move through certain positions and you do this, that. There's something unique and fantastic when you can do what Dylan's done, which is notice how different bodies can fit together differently, or different circumstances. And I'll just like use a quick story. One of the things that we did last time we were in Desire was Prof was motivated to tie my ankles to a side of one of the beds there. And I was on my back and he pulled them up above me. And it was one of those moments where I was like, I've never been in this position before in all of the time we've ever had sex. And it was just cool because it was still Prof and me having lovely sex, but it was a whole different experience for me in every way, in my, sensory sensual experience, in how he was positioning his body, how I was viewing his body. And I feel like sometimes we have our go-tos if we want to have our orgasms, and we are maybe limited by our environment. But man, there is something super sexy about playing with positions and playing with how this leg goes here or the shape of the shower or who knows what, that we're missing out on these opportunities because, Prof and I have been having sex a long time, and to have something happen after decades that feels new and feels exciting is just a neat experience to have. So I'll stop there because I'm all heated now.
Oh yeah. No, hey, I'll tell you, and injury is injury inspires a lot of innovation. And I will tell you, the first time that I learned to create a 3-point bridge between the back of a couch, my good leg, my good leg, and my and my other arm on the back of the couch, and use my cock as the fourth table leg, and really put all the pressure into that.
It should just be called Explanabrag the episode.
Well, that was a revolutionary move for us. We had been having sex for well over 10 years at that point. And I was a little bit down about, like, the limited amount of sex I could have. I really couldn't even lay back and have her fuck me because it would create situations where my knee was a little bit too straight. And the problem was my knee had gone the wrong way. Mm-hmm. And so I was having a real hard time figuring out how to not put any pressure on that. But I realized I could basically dead leg it if I was the one on top and I was just raising myself up and down, and all the pressure was just on our pelvises. And I had never done that before, and she had never been fucked like that before. So, much like Cooper, you showed Tonya something that she had never experienced before. One of the first times that you swung with her. You got her to squirt before anybody else. Yes, you did.
Applause! Applause!
Yes, I was the squirting whisperer.
Yes. Some say you still are, and maybe you'll come back someday and put on a mask and take the title again. But it was nice to discover that after more than 10 years of having sex with her. It was cool.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Along with that, there are times, and if we're doing Explanabrag the episode, then and Coop,
why not?
I tweeted to you. It's really not. This is really functional stuff.
Yeah,
I tweeted to you in the middle of this not tweeted. I texted you in the middle of this threesome. I needed a break. I needed some water. I went upstairs, and there you were. And I was like, "Oh, hey!" And we had the Eiffel Tower triple orgasm happen, which is such a win for everyone involved, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for when, you start to get like orgasm drunk.
Uh-huh.
And then you're like, "Oh my gosh, everyone's going to fall down now."
Oh, I
and
keep falling over.
Yeah, you just hope no one loses any teeth, or breaks a bone, falls off the bed. But you do have to acknowledge the moments when, as innovative and experimental as you might want to be, sometimes it goes horribly and hilariously wrong.
Yeah, it's nice to laugh after something fails terribly.
I don't so much have, like, if things have gone terribly wrong, but over the course of my relationship with my partner, he has lost mobility to a great degree. He has a spinal condition, and most of the time he's in a wheelchair now. And so the very spontaneous sex anywhere that we were having for the longest time has like, there's a lot of positions that are just not possible anymore because of his back pain. Thankfully, since this is the brag episode, oh my stars, that penis. He's he is an Enjoy 11.
Ooh.
I have tested this. I can tell you for a fact he is an Enjoy 11. So, like, and while he's got some back pain, he still has some wonderful flexibility. So there aren't so many positions that we can't get because of genital lack of compatibility, or words. Anyway, but there's a lot of pain issues that we'll have to, like, cycle through different positions. There's no longer, like, a set playbook of you go from point A to point B to orgasm. We now just, like, you start somewhere, and goodness only knows where our bodies are going to allow us to continue. And while seeing him in pain and seeing him lose mobility has been really hard on obviously him, obviously me, but it has added some fun to our sex life in that we are, like, twisting and contorting ourselves into a lot of, like, side-by-side sexual positions that I never would have dreamed possible, and would not be if I was not lucky enough to be partnered to somebody who owns a permanently attached Enjoy 11. This is I get to brag about Val's penis. Yay! It's one of my favorite topics. Oh. And speaking of pain, my back just went out. See, these are the things that we deal with while we're having sex. All of a sudden, somebody's back will go out. And it's like, oh, okay, we have to stop. Okay, that was really good. Now we're going to move over to the side. And, oh, you're still inside me. Jesus, that thing's big. It's grand and glorious. I love it. And now I'm going to make some interesting noises as I try to, like, pop my lower back into place. Sorry, dudes.
Well, that happens with some of my partners, too. In the middle of sex, something will pop out of place and we'll have to reposition, and it's all okay, and we kind of find inventive ways to make it work after that. It's a fun problem. It's not, it's not anything weird. Sometimes it's something as simple as a pillow. A pillow in the right place is easily the easiest at-hand solution to a lot of problems. My Liberator wedge has been a lifesaver. Yeah.
And like sometimes it's, things go wrong, or one of us hits a position and we're suddenly in too much pain. And you can either, like, for us, it's either you can be sad and end it, or you can find creative ways to work around it. And, like, maybe there's lots of times where I'll suddenly be in too much pain to orgasm, but I'm still having a grand fucking time getting him and whoever else may be around off. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, we don't have to focus so much on me. Here, let me focus on you for a little while. I'm a giver.
Well, Coop, okay, so I have to believe that as a connoisseur of pegging,
yes, I am a connoisseur. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. But the versatility of being able to kind of have your partner swap out their cock or
that does
adjust
help.
The positioning of it. Yeah. I gotta believe that's helpful.
Yeah.
And it's honestly one of the reasons why I really enjoy partnering up with somebody that uses a strap-on to fuck people with. You know, I used to joke about the whole, like, let's tag team in, and, you know, let's smack somebody's hand to tag them in for a different position. But no, that's actually a thing. In group sex, in multiple partner sex, you want to see something happen, you tag the person in that has the equipment necessary to make it happen. And sometimes it is the person with the strap on that is the one that can get the job done.
Well, because that one is not affected by many things.
Right.
One of my favorite physics of fucking I don't know what it would be called, like, you know, my little, like, trick up my sleeve is when I am going to strap on, giving my partner the choice. So having, you know, the cocks in my hand and saying, here you go, you choose. And I have a lot of fun with that, because that alone, the idea of how big or bent or rounded or whatever it is that you're fucking with makes a difference. And that's something that if you have a choice, you can certainly play with that. And if you don't have a choice, you can play with that as well and decide, you know, where it's fun to put it and how it's fun to play with it, and what positions feel best for your length and your girth. And, again, something that a lot of people feel like is some sort of, either it's a limiter or it's a, something that's being judged. I just see it as a way to be playful. You know, if your cock is a certain size, then, you know, it might be able to go in my ass. If it's of another size, probably not. So, you know, you look at just the choices there, and you look at the different positions you can, you know, I can get on top if your cock is like this. I might not get on top if your cock is like this, or I really want to get on top if your cock is this cock. And so I just bring it back to looking at those choices as fun and sexy, and really about the pleasure that you can glean from whatever the physics are, and enjoying that for what it is, because I see it as good fun and almost a challenge. Like, look what we've got to work with all of these bodies, especially if it's lots of different bodies. Like, look at all of these bodies. What can we do that feels good for everyone involved?
And Jen, I think that that's really the cornerstone place to add the don't define sex as specifically having an ending. Mm-hmm. Because if you have anything come up that forces you to change what you're doing, or forces you to not be able to orgasm anymore, then this is a way, you know, it's what Krista was saying. It's recognize I'm still having fun helping you have fun. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that's very important to look at throughout all of this discussion, because then that immediately, that taking that out immediately opens up the door to far more variety of activities.
Oh yeah, or both losing my orgasm and the loss of mobility have in many ways made our personal sex life so much better, because it's opened both of our minds to, because to a degree we still had, you know, like this is what sex is and this is when it's over. And when that went away, it just, the options became unlimited.
You know, it's funny that thought process is kind of something that I help people. I want to help people unlock when they first start to realize that, you know, they're having the same sex with their partner that they've had for years, or they're trying to have the same sex with new people now that they're trying non-monogamy. It's that the sex doesn't have to follow the same formula. And once you're open to other things get really interesting. And I'm not even talking about multiple partner stuff. I just mean a new person and a new bit of sex. It seems like it's something incredibly basic now, but that's something surprisingly revolutionary. And you guys found that.
Oh, yes.
And I like to think of the next logical step in that when I'm talking to people about non-monogamy is that now that you don't necessarily have to have that cum shot or that orgasm as the destination, you don't necessarily need to do it with that particular person either. And so I like to think that selling group sex to people shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be terribly hard, right? It's like, hey, do you want to have sex with like 8 people at once?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, let me think about it.
But you still have to unlock that. You still have to get past the whole thought process of, I'm with the person I'm with, and if somebody else is touching them at the same time, that's a problem because, that their time is with me, or switching in the middle of something when you haven't finished your job, or accepting a hand or taking a hand, or, whatever else it is. All that stuff, the first few times you experience it, it's not natural. We don't know necessarily how to accept that, but once you get past it, all of a sudden, group sex becomes this amazing thing. And you can switch, and you can do interesting things, and sometimes some things that work with other people will totally not work with somebody else, and you laugh, and then you switch partners, and you have another, and you have a good time. So hey, we're gonna take a break for a commercial, but when we come back, we're totally gonna look at Cooper and say, hey Cooper, tell us some of the times that you've had interesting combinations of sexual partners when you haven't expected to, on Life on the Swing Set, the podcast.
Hey all, Cooper here to tell you the exciting news that my best-selling book, My Life on the Swing Set, Adventures in Swinging and Polyamory, is now available on Audible. As you may know, if you sign up for Audible now, you can get your first month and first audiobook free. So why not make it mine? Go to audible.mylotss.com and get 8 hours of newly produced audio content now. If you crave other methods of book consumption, you can purchase the DRM-free ebook or paperback, as well as the audiobook direct from me at mylifeontheswingset.com. You know you'd rather hear than read about my epic prostate orgasm. Why not do it now? When it comes to online dating, we here at the Swing Set believe that Cassidy is the best one out there. It looks great, it's intuitive and easy to use, and it's simply full of potential sexy friends. Still the fastest growing online swinger dating site in the world, Cassidy has been our go-to site for the last 3 years. If you sign up using our link at lifeontheswingset.com/KASIDIE, you'll get some free time to explore the site. And you can decide for yourself if Cassidy is the site for you. Hope to see you there at Cassidy.com.
We at the Swing Set believe that being risk-aware and practicing safer sex makes our lifestyle exponentially better. With that in mind, we're partnering with Lucky Bloke, global condom experts and the best online source for condoms and lube, to say no to mediocre condoms and bring the most pleasurable, safer sex directly to our listeners. Go to swingsetcondoms.com to see a specially curated selection of condoms, lubes, and assortments to reintroduce variety and excitement into the protection portion of your playtime. You should especially take note of the deluxe sampler put together by us at the Swing Set for your party and date night kit. Making your condom purchase here supports both us at the Swing Set and the wonderful purveyors of safer sex, the Lucky Bloke. swingsetcondoms.com.
It's Prof. I'm here with Ginger, and we have some big news to share, Ginger.
We do. We're going to Desire. Again.
Yes, we are. April 2016, from the 16th through the 21st, we are going to do a 5-day bit of awesomeness.
Absolutely. It's a hold me over. If you can't make it in November, we'd love to host you in April with JV and Shara from Ending the Sexual Dark Age.
And we're going to have a chill time. Not quite as many activities as our normal November trip, but still lots of awesome Desire fun for sure. So Ginger, how do people get on this awesome trip with us?
They should definitely email me at ginger@lifeontheswingset.com and we'll get you in touch with Jim from Shar Travel. We'd love to see you there. Join us.
Yay! Do it.
Welcome back to Life on the Swing Set, the podcast. I know that I've been heavily selling the whole positioning and multiple people angle to modify the physics of sex. But there are a lot of other ways to deal with modifying the physics, and I wanted to kind of point out something really simple that, again, I came late to the game on, and it's lubricant.
Oh.
And I say that because...
You did come late to the game on that.
I really did. I didn't mean that as a pun either.
Well done. I remember that you were sort of standoffish about it too.
Yeah,
I don't need that. Whatever.
People. Sorry. I'm good. Please continue.
It was literally because I didn't know any better, and I think it was because of my initial transition into non-monogamy. Because I went from having exclusively unprotected sex for a long period of time to protected sex that was, it was a requirement of the game. Like, I had to accept that it was going to be lesser because I could get more elsewhere. And I was absolutely okay with that trade-off. A lot of other people weren't necessarily okay with that trade-off, and some people had already figured out, hey, you don't have to have that trade-off. But not everybody shares that information. And so I didn't I didn't realize that condoms really came in different sizes, and that condoms had different types of lubricant built in them, and some of them were sufficient and some of them weren't. I didn't realize that a little bit of lube could really seriously go a long way. And some people, some men talk about condoms. In the moment, it's going to be hard to put on, and then you'll lose an erection and shit like that. It's like, all right, I get it. But you will enjoy sex a lot more if you put just a little dab of lubricant in the condom. Almost doesn't matter what you're doing, but what you're doing with your cock once you have that condom on. But it's going to make a lot of different things easier. And once you figure out what kind of lubricant your partner needs, all of a sudden you're having sex that is easily, just as good as good old regular unprotected sex with a partner that you've known for a long time. And I don't say that with any reservation. But it changes things like the friction point of the condom. If you're circumcised, and again, Cooper, you can speak more to this than I can, but yeah.
I can speak to that.
Yeah, but if you're circumcised and that condom isn't moving because it's kind of sticking to your cock, the pleasure, the sensation you're getting is limited to pressure and heat. And
that's why those the Trojans with the extra stuff at the top. I forgot what they're called.
Not the ENZ. No. Whatever they are. Yeah, there's a Trojan that
all the condoms with like the bubble top. So it's designed to be snug around the base and then slide at the top. I mean, it's giving us poor saps who don't have foreskins.
Right.
The foreskin experience.
Yes. And
some men pay extra for the foreskin experience.
That is some women pay extra. But, yes, you change the condom you use, you put a little extra lubricant in it, and all of a sudden you have something that emulates a foreskin, and you get the friction back in the game. And maybe if you have a foreskin, you use a little less lubricant, or you use a little bit larger of a condom, so that way you don't necessarily slip. The condom doesn't slip around your cock the same way, but your foreskin moves a little more. And it's just really simple to play around with lubricants so you can change the friction point of everything. And sometimes you can use an internal condom. And for people that get too much sensation, or too little sensation, you can play around with that deployment of condom and play with lubricant a little bit differently and make things different there. And it works for a lot of people that really have a tough time with regular condoms and sex. It's easy stuff. But not a lot of people talk about it because, once they figure it out, it's theirs. They've got it. Why do you want to spread information around? But it literally changes the physics of having sex.
Dylan, I think you may be feeling that they are being sinister. Honestly, you know how it is when something impressive happens in sex, you either feel one of two ways about it. Some people are evangelical about it and start talking extensively about, hey, I did this and you got to try it and here's why and here are the steps and blah, blah, blah. We four fall in that category.
Yes.
What a lot of people feel, though, is, oh my God, I learned something that clearly everyone else must have already been doing. And I don't want anyone to feel like, I don't want anyone to think I'm behind. So, of course, everybody is using lube. Of course. Oh my God, what kind of idiot am I to have just discovered this, So, you're not going to talk about it because you assume that everybody else is already ahead of the curve. And if everybody assumes everybody's ahead of the curve, there's this little cluster of people who actually are. And then there's the rest of us. And so I think that's what it is. It's people should share their secrets. There needs to be like Bob Ross level videos about sex. A little happy little lube.
A happy little dollop right on the tip.
Happy little dildo right here. Now she's just going to sit on it, and look how happy she is.
I can't make words. I'm sorry.
We're going to just mix a little ochre and maybe a little burnt sienna here, and there's a new dildo. Oh, look at that.
Oh, we okay, so I have a new goal for a sex party. First of all, we'll find
like a painting party.
No, kind of. We'll have an old Twister map, Twister thing, and we'll put it out there, and we'll get a bunch of people playing on it, and we'll have people just having the group sex that they have, but we'll make it a painting party too, and the person that's doing the painting will have to MC the action happening around them as Bob Ross.
I'll do that in Desire for you, Dylan.
Oh dear. Oh,
I may be doing it right now.
Oh my God.
Actually, there's nothing I've ever wanted more than to narrate Gin and Prof playing together as Bob Ross, and then go into Sean Connery. I've never wanted anything more.
I will get
really close to Jin's ear, while she's involved, obviously, and just whisper it really low, right in your ear, and now the prophet's going faster. Look, there's a little bit of sweat, and you're going to see that on someone working as hard. I'm almost doing Jimmy Stewart there too. I was sort of sliding into Jimmy Stewart. Just a little bit of
the Bob Ross Jimmy Stewart spectrum of sexuality.
Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing.
I'm biting my knuckles right now. Tap dancing dildo gods.
I will get you the wireless mic, Cooper.
Okay, excellent.
We'll make this happen.
What were we
that
saying?
sounds hilarious.
I remember nothing before.
Well, we were talking about a little dollop of lube being applied just like a little bit of paint. Right, and then she sits on okay, so
no, before that. What were we talking about before that?
There was no before that.
There
Bob
really
Ross
was
has
no
always
before
been
that.
part of this discussion.
And always will be.
Yeah. There was not a time before Bob Ross.
To be honest, at this point, Bob Ross's palette has various colored lube.
Yes.
Not flavored lube, but colored lube, and that is what he's actually painting with.
And he's wisely decided not to include the bacon-flavored lube in his palette.
Well, as any sane person would decide.
Sure.
Or honestly, the Japanese glow-in-the-dark lube, which really you shouldn't put on your genitals ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, please don't put, please.
Now,
If it glows in the dark, it should not go on your bits. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But especially not in your bits.
Yeah.
Well, see,
In
Cooper,
on
you need to listen to
period.
Intellectual Foreplay in order to hear more about this. Nice job, Jen. Cross promotion there.
Oh, is that what she's doing?
Yeah. There was a Prof told a story.
See
Prof
episode
told a
7.
story. I think it was like episode 3 or something. But no, that's not a throwaway moment. I mean, it sounds really cool to have an In the Dark party. I still want to do one of those too, where everybody's on board with that, and then have glow in the dark lube, and then interesting things happen. But well, Prof and Jin have firsthand experience of that not going well.
Well, we had a lover who went to Japan who brought us back condoms and chopsticks, because when you go to Japan, that's what you bring home to your lovers. And so we had all of these glow in the dark condoms. And then, as awesome hosts we are, we had all the condoms out in all of the places at a party. And we had a friend who had used the Japanese glow in the dark condom, which Prof hadn't gotten around to, but at that point. But this friend had an experience that he put it on and it was awesome for a good 10 minutes. And then it devolved into, oh my gosh, I can't douse the flames. My cock is in pain from whatever it was that was making the condom, we assume, glow in the dark. So I'm just going to say, don't do the glow in the dark. Don't paint with lube. I don't know where else to go with this. Somebody rescue me right now. I'm at a loss.
Ross. Fuck him. He's not invited to the party, is what you're saying. I think. That's how I interpret it.
Too late. I already invited him.
Wow.
But other, really other than.
Well, I mean, really, Dylan, what you're saying is this is about hacking your sex life, and hacking it is like, I love pervertibles, the discussion of pervertibles, because once you start thinking outside the box, not entirely outside the box, of course, that would be silly, but once you start thinking outside the box, you can get inspiration begets inspiration begets inspiration. And it gets more and more interesting the less and less typical you go, I think. I don't know that I was going anywhere with that, but yeah.
It's still wisdom to live by.
I just left it there and then gone.
Well, I mean, it's really what kinky people are made for at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned a lot from a lot of really good kinky people about how to hack my sex.
I'm still stuck on Bob Ross.
Bob Ross is stuck on you.
Bob Ross would probably like to be stuck on me. But okay, the knuckle is out of my mouth. I'm able to speak again. Okay, all right, we're good. Breathe, Christiane. Okay. Fuck those happy trees.
It's a happy little bush.
I do have a happy little bush.
Dylan, I've derailed. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No, it's okay.
I am playing the part of you tonight, so
I'm
derailed. The aristocrats.
So I know that we've done a lot of episodes about specific things that we've been able to do to kind of hack our sex. Whether it's pervertibles or just going through different sex toys and vibrators.
I think we may need to do a full episode on pervertibles.
I think.
Oh,
I really
yes,
think we do. It's been a long time,
definitely.
and I think we've picked up a lot of experience since we've done pervertibles.
We've sort of tangentially talked about them on a number of episodes. I don't think we've ever really dug in and focused on them.
Yeah, so we'll
I
have
could
to
be
get some-
wrong. I mean, we have done enough episodes that I could just be forgetting episodes now.
Cooper, we only did it 90 episodes ago. Gosh.
Actually,
That's right. So yeah, we'll wrap around and recommend some of the basics again after this, because I know that I really wanted to talk about people being different, because that's where I was encountering my own little oh my god moments. But I want to turn it around and ask if any of you guys have any business.
Ooh, business.
It's been a while, I know.
Besides currently being in Mexico, in the most sexy place on earth. I mean, Mexico is not necessarily the most sexy place on earth. No disparagement in Mexico, of course. But desire is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying.
Not all of us will be there.
I'm sorry.
But that's a temporary problem.
Yeah.
I will be crying.
That's a problem that can be solved perhaps next year at our resort takeover of Desire.
It is.
Next November.
That is one of the goals. Yeah. That is definitely one of the goals. Got to get my life a little bit back together more. And, that whole money thing.
Yes.
That's my business. I need money.
Well, that is a good business discussion.
No, it really is, because, one of the things that the swing set really can do better with is to have a little bit of money, because we haven't asked for a lot classically, and we're not asking for a lot now.
Are you sliding this into the Patreon discussion?
I am totally sliding this into the Patreon discussion, because, we haven't really talked about it a lot. I talked about it once.
Can you make it sound less like a pledge drive this time, though?
No.
Listen, we release a lot of episodes, and we've been doing it for almost 6 years.
Where else can you find quality programming like this except for on swingset.fm?
We want to travel, and I don't just mean for pleasure. We want to do conferences. We want to interview people on site. We want to do all sorts of new and interesting things. We want to do a real, actual live show. All of these things are going to cost some money for us to do. And because we've been doing this out of our own pockets and out of our own time and sweat and tears over the years, we need a little bit of a leg up to get there so that we can do everything at the next level. So head over to lifeontheswingset.com/tip and sign up to tip us, at any level you want per episode that we release. And we'll get a little, you'll give a little, and we'll be able to make a little bigger. Just the tip, exactly.
Just the tip.
And we'll be able to make the bigger things possible, because honestly, that's what we want to do. We want to do bigger and better things. And if you can do this with us, it's going to help us out a lot. So
that was good, Dylan, hijacking Krista's business about needing money to ask for people to give us money.
Well, I didn't know where she was going with that.
No, she really wasn't going anywhere with that. It was a perfect lead.
She doesn't have enough money to go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly my point.
Well, I didn't know if you. I didn't think you had a new book out or.
No. I am very slowly. Orgasm Quest is about to become a thing again after its long hiatus that was not by my choosing, and so. I'm going to start updating that. Let's see, this goes out. It actually, by the time this goes live, the first Return to Orgasm Quest post should be up on my site.
Excellent.
Hey guys, guess what? Return to Orgasm. Jesus.
Wow, well done, Dylan.
What?
You want to try that again?
That's it. No. Well, hey guys, guess what? Return to Orgasm Quest is here. Krista, where can they find that new live article?
That new live article will be at KristaAnne.com, and that's KristaAnne.com.
That's great. We will put that in the show notes.
Excellent.
You are so good to me. I desperately, desperately missed Quest, and I will happily say that my orgasm has returned.
Yay!
Yay! So Quest is going to be taking some new directions, but it's still going to be
now it's like the search for more orgasms, like Curly's Gold or something.
The Next Generation.
Yeah, Next Generation. There you
or
go.
It'll take place of New Direction no, it's
Direction?
One Direction. It's One Direction. Damn it! See, I was going to make a One Direction joke.
Instead, you made a Glee joke.
I did make
well
a Glee
done.
joke. And I don't even watch Glee, so I totally stumbled on it.
No, and the best part is the part that I am filled with the self-loathing of knowing that you said that, and I immediately went, "Oh yeah, Glee." I mean, fuck that show and fuck it hard.
I have never seen an episode.
Well, good, because it's terrible.
Okay.
Just terrible. I was going to do business, but now I may just talk about how terrible Glee is.
No. We don't want that. I actually do want to hear your business. You know why, Cooper?
Why?
Because even though we're in Desire right now, in the lead up to Desire, it's literally been months since I've seen you in person. So I want to know while we're at Desire here, what you've been up to over the last few months. Give me your business, sir.
Our time is weird right now.
It really is.
I wrote another book. I got my method of procrastination on the book I was supposed to be writing, the big book of swinging that we announced, was to write a different book.
Announcing something is the kiss of death.
No, for me, announcing is what drives me to finish. Like, I've already ordered proofs of this book that's only on a first draft because seeing it in print in front of me is what gets me to go through the rest of the stupid process to get it to that point.
It makes you want to go to there?
I'm so jealous. Announcing something always, immediately leads to something in my real life crashing and burning in the most epic of fashions. So I've just mostly stopped announcing things.
Well,
but the Orgasm Quest of Post is actually written, so,
See,
things...
I found that accountability has really, really dramatically helped me. So, the first thing I'll do with a project is decide when I want it to be finished and then announce that on Twitter.
I'm glad that works for you.
It strangely works for me. Like the whole Desire diet thing. Announcing it on Twitter and updating people, except for that little fiasco where people got upset with me for saying that look better naked.
What was the hashtag you started using to get past that?
Oh,
was it
my Project Bigger Dick?
Yeah, Project Bigger Dick. There you go.
That has been called the best diet hashtag ever.
Because it is.
Of the world. I maintain that if more men were told that their dick gets bigger, at least perceptually bigger, by losing weight, more men would try to lose weight. And I will again reiterate that my doctor specifically told me that I had weight-related issues. So losing weight was actually what's best for me. But you know what? Fuck that. I don't have to defend it.
Exactly. You're doing it because you want to, and just like we want to be open, we want to encourage people to hack their bodies the way that they want.
Yes.
This is what you want to do with your body, so more power to you for declaring it, and for sticking to it, and for making it happen.
I have said its name.
You always look great, my darling.
I can't wait till you get your Prince Albert.
And fuck that. No, and not because I have any problem with people who do that. But no, Dylan, no.
Prince Albert is a sometimes piercing.
Always, sometimes never, right?
No, that's a cock that you want to suck, not a cock you want to have, right, Cooper?
No, I don't really. And again, I have no problem with the people. I don't want in-my-face reminder of a piercing like that. I don't want that in my face.
Okay.
So no, I'm sorry to the one person perhaps that I just made sad.
We're now down to 12 listeners. Yeah. Thank you. We were at Lucky 13.
And then I ruined it.
Does anybody else have any business? Well, since
Ginger hit us with her business last episode.
She did. She's got a girlfriend.
Yay!
It's very cute.
It's adorable. But
that I'm sure she's missing very much right now.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, Dylan, you, me, and several other people are distracting her.
I would like to think that she will stay distracted until at least 4:30 in the morning.
Yes.
Again.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because ain't no party like a swing set party.
That's right.
Until we report on that, I want to bring up something else that's kind of adorable. Last week we announced 2 winners of the Marriage 2.0 contest.
We did.
Actually, Ginger announced 2 winners of the Marriage 2.0 contest. And you know what? We ran out of time to actually read those entries, so I want to do it. I'm going to go ahead and read winner 1. And this is Bill and Kelly from Minnesota. So, our journey into ethical non-monogamy involves Star Trek and the President of the United States. But before that, we need to go back to the beginning, because when I first saw my wife, she was taking off her clothes. I had recently discovered the hidden nudist camp in a conservative region of the U.S. The summer was hot. I was a voyeur and an exhibitionist, and the lake water was refreshing. One afternoon I looked up at the beach and I saw a young woman my age walk, disrobe, and open a can of soda. It was actually not love at first sight, but when we later started dating monogamously, we began with body positivity in common. Some years later, in 2004, I viewed from afar as a political scandal rocked my native Illinois. A U.S. Senate candidate named Jack Ryan was disgraced as divorce records revealed that he and his estranged wife, Star Trek Voyager actress Jeri Ryan, had visited a sex club in Europe. Ryan attempted to explain that they had not broken any of their marriage vows, but his candidacy was through. With the leading candidate out of the race, a then unknown state senator named Barack Obama won the seat, and the rest of that story is history. But we then knew that sex clubs existed. I asked the missus, in a Home Depot parking lot no less, if she would consider trying out a local one, and she was surprised, but said yes. We didn't speak to anyone else, but we enjoyed each other very publicly. We were nudists, remember? And over some years we visited clubs while on vacation and gradually became braver. Eventually we felt ready to share each other physically and decided to post a profile, and now we are a happily non-monogamous couple.
That's wonderful.
Yay!
It really is.
And I wrote a blog post like 4 years ago claiming that the reason Barack Obama became president was because of swinging.
You did. You're welcome. Wait, hold on. Thanks, Cooper. No, wait. Thanks, Jack Ryan, for making Obama possible. So really, when conservatives non-ironically and non-sarcastically say thanks, Obama, for something that they hate, they really need to thank Jack Ryan for being a dick. Because you know what? If he hadn't been a dick to Jeri Ryan, they might have actually had a good time at sex clubs in Europe. And this wouldn't have happened. But you know what? He was a dick about it.
Yeah, he
practiced dickish swinging. He practiced non-consensual. he took her to a sex club and she didn't want to go. It's all in the public divorce records. If he had just been cool, he could have been getting some from as many women as he wanted, including Jeri Ryan, who is fucking hot and was fucking hot and always probably will be fucking hot.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he would have been the state senator, or the senator of Illinois, and we wouldn't have Barack Obama as a president. And conservatives would be, well, they'd have their bogeyman, so, you know, whatever. We might be in the same situation that we're in now, just with a white president, so who knows? Okay. Thank you, Jack Ryan. and really, thanks, Bill and Kelly from Minnesota. That was awesome. Does anybody want to read Justin's story?
I will read Justin's story.
Okay, cool.
My name, Justin. I have listened to the podcast for about 6 months. I'm wanting to swing with my super sexy wife. I just had a moment of deja vu, and then I realized it's because I read the first 3 sentences as Sean Connery in the last episode.
I was going to say Sean Connery read the first
Sean Connery
few sentences.
Came in here and just sat down and read that.
Totally.
Wasn't me.
No.
We have had experiences where we have been in a cuddle pile all night, cuddling other people, but no sex. On another occasion, I pulled her shirt up and kissed her breasts in front of a guy I knew she had a crush on. We later had really hot sex down the hall, where I know he and his girl walked by the room and saw us multiple times. Why fucking tell you this? Well, I don't really know how to full-out broach the subject that I want to swing. We have skirted around the issue and even talked about a threesome with the aforementioned dude. I think about swinging all the time. My biggest concern is her comfort and pleasure. My not being able to find a way to talk is causing us issues. We are definitely still in our origin story, and I thought receiving the Marriage 2.0 movie might help in some way because we like sexy movies. Even if no one reads this, it's so good/hot to me just writing this. Thank you all very much for your podcast. Because of it, I no longer feel weird and out of place. And I think this is why he won right here. P.S. Ginger, your voice, what up?
No, that's here. 4 exclamation points. You need to do better.
No, I think the 4 exclamation points indicated the suaveness of it, especially followed by the smiley face.
So I'll be honest, the PS, the postscript was lovely. However, I was completely swayed by the idea that we might be able to insert, no pun intended, a movie that could lead Justin and his lovely to a place of understanding with ethical non-monogamy that is successful and awesome and amazing for them. So as much as that is super great and crushing is lovely and all of that good stuff, I'm really excited for both of these origin stories because to me they were raw and real and fun to read, and one is in progress.
Indeed.
My heart is warmed.
So thank you, Justin, and we will again contact you and send you your DVDs, or maybe already have.
You're welcome, all three of you, is really what we needed to say.
Oh, so we're going to be dicks about it? Welcome.
No, listen, I'm really glad that we're passing around Marriage 2.0.
I am too, and even if you didn't get past a copy, I think you should get it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Because it's great, yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I enjoy showing it to other people as much as I enjoyed showing Short Bus to other people. So, you can like us at facebook.com/theswingset. You can find us on Twitter at Cooper S. Beckett, Ginger N. the Prof, Dylan the Thomas, and Pinkness.
I applaud you not saying Cooper's Beckett, Dylan. That took a lot. I know.
I could feel it.
I really did have to think about it, and I decided to pay you the respect that maybe you don't deserve.
I don't deserve.
But that I want to give to you freely because really I don't lose anything by giving you respect. It's free.
Wow.
It's free,
Dylan,
and it'll make you feel better.
It does make me feel better.
Yeah. So, Cooper S. Beckett. Cooper S. Beckett.
You should say Ginger's again because it sounded like you said and.
Oh, I apologize. So, Ginger N. the Prof. Check out this podcast, daily blogs, articles, and toy reviews on our website at lifeontheswingset.com and on our site's Twitter feed at ontheswingset. Contact us at contact@lifeontheswingset.com. Give us a call, leave us a voicemail at 573-55-SWING. That's 573-557-9464. And, hey, swingers, we know you buy a lot of condoms. Why not buy them at swingsetcondoms.com? It supports this podcast. It gets you awesome condoms from the Lucky Bloke. Lucky Bloke's pretty cool. I just ordered 3 packs. I'm waiting for them to get here. I know they're great, and I fully intend on using them because I'm here at Desire, and I already have them, and I'm using them. So, you should.
You're using one right now.
That's right.
Sometimes I wonder if our listeners get tired of our timey-wimey discussions, and then I remember that I find them endlessly amusing, and really...
That's all that matters?
I was going to say something along those lines, but I'm glad Krista did.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
As long as I'm amusing myself, that's all that matters.
Well, hey, I amuse myself all the goddamn time, and people look at me sometimes like I'm a little weird, but I'm like, you know what? I made myself laugh. I don't care if nobody else is laughing. I'm enjoying myself. So, if buying a bunch of condoms and fucking a bunch of beautiful women is gonna make me enjoy myself, then you know what? I'm gonna do it. Maybe you should too.
If that doesn't, Dylan, then I'm not really sure what to say.
Yeah. Well, you know what else you can say? You can also support us instead of buying condoms by buying a shirt and other awesome merchandise like tights, cups, iPhone cases, all sorts of cool things at lifeontheswingset.com/support. You can also sign on to support us every time we release an episode for as little as $1 a release, or even just $1 a month by tipping us at lifeontheswingset.com/tip. And you can find our other great podcasts like The Gentle Pervert Social Club, Intellectual Warplay, The Kinky Geeks, Eat the Rootcast, a damn good podcast about Twin Peaks. It's coming back. And Sex at a Go-Go at swingset.fm or on our free Android app.
Can Jin read the last one? Because I like it when she does it.
Oh, yeah.
I like it when she does it.
You like it when I do the last one?
I like it when you do... I like it when you do a lot of things, but specifically...
Oh, my gosh.
And Ginger,
yes.
I hear that there's a little something that Cooper would like you to read. No, that wasn't... I had a smooth transition and I just lost it.
You should just let her do it and then cut off the middle.
Did you need some lube there, Dylan?
Yeah.
To make it smoother?
That transition was not properly lubricated, Dylan.
Well, you know what? I am a little late to the lubrication game.
Yeah,
so
sometimes you apply too much, sometimes too little.
I think it was a
sometimes you just
little.
don't know.
Yeah, it was too little because I was excellent right up until this point. And
Absolutely.
Water-based lube works a little differently. It has,
It does.
it
Right.
doesn't proper the whole time. So
Right.
yeah.
So, Dylan, I'm going to say this little thing, and then you're going to bring us home.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, you can buy My Life on the Swing Set, Adventures in Swinging and Polyamory as an ebook, paperback, or audiobook at mylifeontheswingset.com.
And you can find Krista Ann's website at kristaann.com. That's KristaAnne.com.
Support the hell out of this one because she's
Please
awesome.
do.
Thank you.
She really is. So,
Flattery
listeners,
gets you everywhere.
absolutely.
Mwah.
Thanks for swinging by.
Have a sexy business? Love the swing set? Let's put these two great things together. The Swing Set Network has advertising and sponsorship packages available for our websites and podcasts. Email advertising at lifeontheswingset.com for more information. Thanks.
So, Dylan, it's officially 180 episodes
Oh,
of I Love Lucy.
okay.
Oh, does that seem like not a lot? I mean, because I don't want to do 180 podcasts of anything. Like, never again.
You do a Trek podcast, and you got me.
Dylan, do a Trek podcast with Krista.
So,
Somebody else needs to host one of our Geek TV casts.
Yeah, okay, so I would legitimately do a Next Generation podcast because of the Blu-ray releases. I mean, I know we're about a year and a half or more in arrears at that point. I said rear. But season 1 and 2, even though they're like pretty much acknowledged as the not-so-great seasons of Next Generation, they're also the seasons that have not the tightest, but the most serious Roddenberry influence.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some seriously disruptive ideas in those episodes. They solve the problem of what is it called? When you have a society that doesn't have enough genetic diversity, it is called something. Whatever that is.
Oh, yeah, that thing with the stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, see, I'm a writer. That thing with the stuff.
That thing with the stuff. And they solve that literally by bringing two cultures together that branched a long time ago together, and they basically mandate polyamory, or multiple partners, in order to increase genetic diversity. And it wasn't just like a throwaway line either. They had to seriously convince the civilizations, and of course the lowbrow civilization that had been procreating naturally was all for it. And the highbrow civilization that had been procreating only through cloning was like, oh dear, we're going to have sex and do it with multiple people? And it's a bunch of, like, older white guys. Yeah, it's a bunch of older white guys going, oh my, and then a couple of women are like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
Because they look at a couple of the men that are like, they've been working all of their lives, and they're like manly men. And so I'm like, the women are going to have a good time. Because it was like each woman had to take like 5 male partners and produce 5 children. That was basically it. So... yeah.
Okay. I'm down. Right now I'm going through DS9 again.
Oh, I love DS9 so much.
See, you could totally do a podcast.
I'm Tina Horn, author of Love Not Given Lightly and host of the Wired People Into That podcast. And you're listening